Like sometimes you enter a course and realize maybe that this isn't what I want forever. So how did you change your career, like from IIT engineering to MBA? I'm sure that this journey wouldn't have been easy for you. So can you share some of the challenges you faced and how did you overcome them? Hey guys, welcome back to Skill Sapiens Talks. I'm your host Srishti Nandwani, and today we have got someone whose story is really very motivating to the viewers, to me, and super relatable. We are talking about a guy who started his journey with, G Prep, Engineering College, IIT Goa, to FMS Delhi, and now rocking it at Tata Play. His journey is a proof that it's okay to pivot, to explore, and to chase something really very bigger. I am talking about none other than Siddhant Yadav, an engineer who turned his career, who skipped his engineering and turned into a management course, who's not just cracked some of the toughest exams in India, but also converted his PPO. So, and he's here with us today to share everything, his story, his what he faced, what motivates him, the good, the messy, and the most importantly, motivating things. So grab your earphones, sit back, and let's dive into the super real and honest conversation. Hi, Siddharth. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Srishti. Thanks a lot. A very sweet introduction, I'll say. Not something which you quite often hear, engineer turned MBA, quite a common thing. But again, thanks for the very sweet intro that you gave me.
Yeah. So, okay, let's just get into it because I know a lot of students are here who will start their journey and going to relate to your story and feel really very motivated after hearing it. So, Siddhant, let's start from the very beginning. Engineering from IIT Goa, like big dreams for some of the students. Was that something that you always wanted to pursue?
Actually, yes. So a lot of people just don't have a clue what to do and they go for an IIT, right? Which is a bigger deal because then they have also prepared for something which they don't have a clue for. But in my case, I had a plan that, okay, I need to go to an IIT. During that time, it was 2015, 20 around 2015, 2016, right? At that time, all the big startups, all those big names, and they all came from IIT. So it was just like, okay, you're gonna make something big, go to an IIT. And then again, I always preferred STEM fields and science fields. So yeah, it was quite a easy call for me in those times.
That's great. That's interesting. And I think that's so real. Like sometimes you enter a course and realize maybe that this isn't what I want forever. So how did you change your career, like from IIT engineering to, MBA?
All right. So I won't say that that was a case with me. Right. So I loved my field. I was doing engineering in mathematics and computing. That's a booming field right now with the Gen AI stuff. So yeah, I loved my field and I still do. In fact, during even during Tata Play, I had an internship of 2 months. I was coding for the 2 months, right? So even during my MBA internship, I was coding. I'll say yeah. I won't call it shifting because I was not interested much in the field. But yeah, MBA gave me other options to go for. I am good at speaking and I'm good at tech as well. But it is easier for me to speak than to go day and night for the tech. Uh, so yeah, it's kind of much easier for me to, turn around things when I'm doing an MBA. And that was more of an option. So I looked for an MBA. I prepped for it and I got it. So yeah, it worked on very well for me. That's
Right,
it, I
right.
guess.
I right, right. I love that how you were, self-aware about your things, what you want to pursue next. So, and then FMS, wow, that's such a, tough to crack. Like, how did you prepare for your CAT exam?
All right. So I guess you're seeking more of what kind of coaching I did, what was my curriculum sort of, well, what was my schedule and stuff, right?
Yes, yes. Your schedule, what coaching you went for, yeah,
Okay,
like what you
so
started to use,
if you check on internet, there's something called Elites Grade, right?
right?
ELITES GRID, Elites Grade. I joined Elites Grade. I joined, I guess, the February batch, right? But they had a good thing that they used to record lectures and spoiled me enough because I had my IT days during COVID too. So if anything is recorded, you're not going to watch it the very same day. So I skipped on it. I for 4 months, April, May, June, July. I didn't even care what's going on. So I was during that time I had a 6 month internship at Siemens CDA. Right. I was very well into my internship. I was not focusing on CAT at the first place itself because I was thinking, okay, I'll get some work kicks, and after that I'll go for an MBA. It was not at the top of my list, but yeah, I joined coaching and something that sort. Okay, we'll see what happens. Right. But then again, after 4 months, I think, okay, let's try to do things. So then again, I started my prep in August, mid-August or something. Right. So I am not a kind of person, okay, I started and I did it consistently for every day because CAT is not a demanding paper as such. Like if for someone who's given JE Advance, CAT is not a demanding paper. It's an easy paper. And for most of the engineers, the job interviews that they go for, they anyway give these aptitude papers with this. So my objective when I was giving CAT was even if it was not okay, ki I'm going for CAT, it was more like at least I'll be prepared for the aptitude test that happens for my job interview. So I was told anyway, like, ki, let's go for it for the very same reason. But yeah, then again, once you start giving exams, so for it was a case for me, I love to give exams. You give me another, it gives you a dopamine rush. Okay, that okay, I'm scoring this much, I'm scoring this much, kind of a thing, right? So yeah, then I got a hang of it. So in August, September, October, I got 2 3 months, right?
Right.
It was in November. So yeah, in those 2 3 months, I felt like okay, now this thing is nice. So yeah, when you see mocks you are performing well in mocks, then you get more orientation. Okay, let's do it this time itself. So my plan was to do it later. I was like, let's give it, let's see what happens. But then FMS happened, so I was thought, let's go for it. Let's not hold it
Right.
for long.
Amazing. Amazing. So
Hmm.
you did your preparation like while doing your internship or what? After doing
No,
internship, you
during
started.
during my internship. So I used to go to Greater Noida. I live in Gurgaon. So I used to go there, come back, used to take time. But then again, at night, what do you do at night, right? And most people study at night, right? So I used to do at night, August, so those 2 3 months during the night. Because see, a lot of people ask me how much time should we give and all, right? Depends
Right.
person to person. But I feel uh, CAT is a fair exam. It's not that tough, not that easy. So 2 3 4 months are way more than enough for it.
Amazing, amazing. So what was your schedule like? How much did you study for it? Like the day wise? What was your schedule?
Okay, so for VARC, I'll tell you how I went about it. I knew that I'll be fine with cons and DLR. I'm an engineer, I'll be fine with that. I won't be fine with VARC. That's what I knew for sure. Right. So when I got it back into senses, okay, let's go for CAT again. Because as I told you, I dropped for the first 4 months, right? First 4 5 months, I dropped it. So when I came back onto that spot, I thought, okay, I can still hold on with content DLR. But if I don't do it, let's go with VRC. So for VRC, I used to prepare all my comprehensions. So majority of part is RCs anyway, right? So I was like, "Ki, we can still bet on VA. Let's focus more on the RCs." So there's something called GMAT RC 999, RC 999, right? So GMAT is a very easy exam, much easier than CAT. But then for English, it is a good exam, right? So I tried you started with GMAT RC. They helped. There is Buddhi Tree, Buddhi Prep, not Buddhi Prep. Yes, right. They also have resources on internet, so that was free. So yeah, for VRC, I did that. I did start with Norman Louis, but then again, didn't have much time for Norman Louis. Halted on
Okay.
that. For DILR, thankfully, I was in Elite's grade. So Elite's grade is known for its DLIR, DILR. So I prepped all the lectures that were there, and then again for the cons as well. I used to look at the all the recorded lectures, and then I used to just solve them and also give the mocks. So as far as schedule is concerned, I used to start at night. I used to look at some lectures, and then I used to do the questions. Sometimes what I also had to travel 2.5 hours one side, so it was 5 hours of travel. So I also used to take the recordings with me in the phone, right? So sometimes what I used to do was during those because what do you do in the metro, right? And even the network is not good, so go around with the downloaded stuff. So for those 5 hours, I used to watch lectures, and during the night, I used to solve questions and all.
Amazing, amazing. So you used to study at night, like
Hmm.
recorded lectures. You used to, like you used to watch your lectures in day, but you used to study at night.
Solve at night, study in the morning, in the day. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I can also relate to it because
Hmm.
even during my exams, I used to literally, used to study at night with my books, no social life, nothing with my books and with a cup of coffee. That's it. So yeah. So I'm sure that this journey wouldn't have been, easy for you. So can you share some of the challenges you faced and, how did you overcome them?
I guess challenges for me were more of not in terms of the toughness of the exam or okay, how much, it's more of the consistency, right? Why do you do it? Why do you even want to do it in the first place? What I was doing, I had my PPO at Siemens as well. Right. So I knew that I'm gonna go this way. I also had job interviews for my from IIT Goa itself. So I was like, why should I go for this when I have other options too? But even then, when you try, okay, let's still do it. So it's more of for me, it was more of how do you keep yourself intact for the very same thing every day, right? You can, let's say you prep for 3 days and then you think, okay, let's leave it for, if I have left it for 5 months, I can again leave it for 5 days at least. But not leaving for those 5 days at the end, I think that was more of a disciplinary thing to bring in. It's more of a discipline. It's not okay that I am prepping that much. Anyone who preps for CAT can get in. The problem is how many of you are going to, be disciplined about it and prepare for it every day. Yeah.
Yeah, right, correct. Absolutely right. So, most of the students are like they get demotivated very easily. Like, or like for the initial 10 days, they'll be like, I'm gonna crack the exam, I'll get a lot of good marks and go into a very good B school or IIMs. But did you like someday or the other, did you feel like this is not happening, this is not cup of my tea, I just want to quit it? Is there some point in your journey?
It does feel so. CAT was a different exam altogether. It was more of a timing thing. But then again, this is true for I give this advice to a lot of people, and this is true for any competitive exam for that matter, right? A lot of people face this in JE, so I used to give this advice specifically for JE. Sometimes when you feel okay, I'm not able to do it, right? I'm not able to solve the questions. The questions are not being solved. Getting the wrong answers. I'm not getting enough time to solve these questions. A practical, I can give plethora of advice. Okay, be motivated. Just do you think you can do it or not? But on real terms, it's more of a practical thing. Try solving easier things. They will give you enough motivation. Okay, I'm able to do at least this much, right? So instead of if you're not able to solve a set, let's for example, you to start with rolling motion. You're not able to solve a rolling motion question, no problem. Start with a normal linear motion question. You see, okay, this is the level. Try with the board exam question. If you're not able to solve even advanced, don't go for mains. Start with the board level question. If you're able to do, then go to a mains. Okay, you're getting a boost itself. Okay, इतना तो मैंने कर लिया क्या इतना मैं कर सकता हूँ? That kind of an idea. And once you're done with that, so if you improve yourself this way, at least you get motivated on the track. If you go directly up, you feel like okay, I'm at no place, and then you suddenly shut down. Instead, go gradually, but keep motivating you while you are doing it.
Absolutely right. Like start from the very basics and then move ahead with the hard ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you got your FMS result, what was your first reaction like after your marks are there on the screen? What was your first reaction then?
Okay. So FMS is a peculiar thing, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people don't know what FMS is. Interestingly, it's a premier B school. It is the oldest B school, and yet people don't know about FMS, right? And same was the case for me. I was from IIT. I used to think, okay, I'll go for IIMs. I didn't even prefer FMS at the first place, right? But then again, I got into FMS. I got so that was the first result, by the way. It was the last interview and the first result, right? So I was very happy. I was like, okay, I got into FMS and I knew, okay, FMS is a big deal. People might not know it, but FMS is a big deal. I was very happy that I got into FMS, but I was more happy that if I got into FMS, I'll definitely get into Calcutta, Bangalore, Lucknow, and all. So I was more happy for that. Okay, if I got into this because the interview is not as good as it went for the other B schools. That if I got into this, I can get into others too. I guess that was a
Oh,
bonus thing for me. But yeah, then I
right.
again decided to join FMS itself.
Must have been such a goosebumps moment, right?
Yes, it
And
was.
now working at Tata Play, how does it feel like stepping into corporate world?
Oh, it's very good. I'll tell you what. A lot of people say that they went into a MBA to solve real world problems and all. MBA doesn't teach you any real world problems. That is the truth. Uh, I was an ingenious solve real world problems. MBA do not. A lot of people solve real world problems. MBAs are definitely not those people, right? But when you enter into corporate, you get an opportunity to do so. So you have both the options. Luckily, I have been in such an organization which is able to harness that part of mine in terms of you get to solve real things and you get to know a lot of stuff which you can't understand in a classroom at all, right? When you see, okay, people are behaving this way, we see India as the people we are around with, right? Okay, people behave this way, Indians behave this way, but then India is a big country with versatile people. There's a famous quote: whatever is true for India, the opposite is also true, right? When you enter a corporate, you get to know that, right?
Amazing, amazing. Such powerful words. Like, how did how did you manage your personal life with your work life, professional life? Like, is
Uh,
it tough or like, is it okay?
All right. So, luckily with Tata Play, with the whole Tata value and things, so Tata Play is a very accommodating office by those accords, right? We have enough work-life balance with all of us. There is no such punch-in times or attendance sheet or something of that sort, right? A lot of people work from home for a lot of days, right? So it's totally fine until you're getting the task done. As long as it is done, people don't care. I used to work at 3 a.m. because that suits me, right? And then I used to come to office at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Something of that sort. So right. So in terms of flexibility, I work in an organization which is very flexible. So luckily, I have not faced that problem. So I cannot comment much. Okay, how do I balance it myself? Because my company does it for me. They give me enough space to be flexible. Yeah, but a lot of my friends from FMS, they do have such kind of problems, and especially the consulting peeps and finance peeps, right? They are constantly engaged anyway. So yeah, it's much more of a problem for them. Luckily, I am not in such a situation, so I can't comment much on it.
Right. Great. So, is there any day in your office like you feel this is not happening? This is not happening with me. Like, I just want to switch to another company. Is
See,
this happened before?
it might happen. Uh, Switching I'll tell you what. You get either frustrated by the work that you are doing, or you get frustrated by the company that you are in, right? When you get frustrated by the company that you are in, then you think, okay, I need to choose the company and I cannot stay in this company. Luckily, both my organizations, Siemens and Tata Play, both have been really nice. So that has not been the case with me. But yeah, sometimes it does happen. Okay, you are frustrated by the work; it's not happening, right? Then you can have multiple approaches. Some people think, okay, I should switch the job. Maybe I'll get something else to do. That is one thing. Some people think, well, let me switch to what I am doing. That sometimes that's not possible, so people think that they should switch. I have a very simple approach. If I'm not able to do something, go have a break, have a coffee, play some TT, okay, and talk to people. I am a yapper. I yap a lot. So when I yap, anyway, my mind gets free, and then I try doing it again. So not it hasn't occurred to me yet, right? And I don't even wanna have this kind of a situation. But yeah, people do face that. So that is a real thing, but not has not happened with me yet.
Okay, right. So, like, it's important. Like, some of students are like, I want to switch. This is not happening. So they, quit and sit at home and relax and chill. They just don't try new things or, take a break and start with the work again. So this is amazing. This is very great. So let's just wrap up the session. Last but not the least, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting their journey?
Okay, before I give advice to someone who's just starting the journey, I'll give them advice that don't just quit and don't do anything. Like, as you said, breaks sound very cool maybe in European culture because it works there. In their work culture, it is fine for you to take a break, explore some Asian country and come back. In India, that's not appreciated. And so don't do that. That shows a gap on your CV, gap on your LinkedIn profile, gap everywhere. And then people raise questions, right? So even if you are a skilled person, that quite spectacle that can change a lot of things for you. So first advice is don't take a break. Take break while you're doing job. Don't take break from job. Point one. And for someone who's starting new, I'll say take it slow. Don't think okay, I got to do this, then I got to do this, then I got to do this. Just try to take things one at a time. Okay, I need to solve this. This is my problem. How do I get about this? These are my steps. Let's do it A, B, C, D. Okay, C is not happening. Okay, let's go back to B. Let's make C. Let's so just take things simply. People just take stress. There's this. So Shri Krishna told Arjun, "Chinta mat karo, chintan karo." Right. So instead of working out on things, don't. People just stress out. So just don't stress out. Instead, solve it. What's the worst that could happen? Just always think, what's the worst that could happen? Right.
That's such a powerful advice that you are giving to our listeners. And lastly, what are your future goals? Where do you see yourself going, like in future?
Okay. See, being an engineer, I'll tell you what, you can take an engineer out of an engineering college or engineering job, but it stays inside, right? From my heart, I'm not an B school grad. I'm still an engineer, right? I take myself that way. So I seeking more of a product side role, right? I want to create and build products, right? That's how my brain also functions that way, right? I have a minor in finance, I have a major in strategy, I have. But again, if you say okay, how does your brain work, my brain won't think okay that these things are being credited and this is happening. My brain would never function that way. So I constantly think of creating something. So yeah, product is something that I see myself going in because that's more natural to me, more intuitive to me. And you should work on those things where it should not feel like work. Right? Sometimes you do stuff, you get stressed out. Like people are like, I don't want to do this job. Majority of reason is because you genuinely don't want to do that job. Whatever I've done, be it IIT, be it FMS, I have done things that I really wanted to do. So I've taken it easy because I want to do that. You take stress, you get exhausted when you are doing things which you don't want to do. So pick things that you want to do, and it will be less exhaustive for you itself.
That sounds like amazing, so great. Like I am sure you are going to absolutely kill it in your future. Like
Hmm.
thank you so much, Siddhant, for joining us today. Your story is not just inspiring, it's really very great. It's amazing, it's real, it's very relatable to the viewers, listeners, and I am sure so many people listening today feel a little more, like not a little, a lot motivated from your words, like they were before few minutes ago. So thank you, Siddhant. Such a great podcast we had with you.
All right. Thanks for hosting me, Srishti. Thanks a lot.
All, all right, guys. That's it for today. Today's episode of Skill Sapiens Talks. If Siddhant's journey lit a little spark on you, don't forget to share this with your friends. And remember, your journey is valid. And if it doesn't look perfect, you will make it perfect by motivating, cheering up, by taking little breaks, but doing it properly, and getting your dreams come true. Thank you so much, guys.